Call this meeting of the Fremont County Board of Commissioners to order. If you'll please rise and join us in invocation from Alicia Swearingen from Royal Gorge Vineyard Church, followed by the pledge.
Yeah, good morning. I'm just reading a scripture, 1 John 4, God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God in them. And this is how love is made complete among us. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. And so, God, we just acknowledge you and your love for us, your love for each one here, your love for our community. Lord, we pray that you would be among us as we make choices for our community. We bless you and we love you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Alicia. Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall?
Present.
Commissioner Bell?
Present.
Commissioner Grantham?
Here.
County Attorney Bellis?
Present.
County Administrator Carochi?
Present.
Planning and Zoning Director Victoria?
Present.
Moving on to approval of the agenda. No changes we need.
Mr. Chair, I think the agenda looks just fine also, the way that it is. I move to approve as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
On to the consent agenda. Notice we are not scheduling any public hearings at this time.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve this consent agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We'll start off with some elected official report. We have the county clerk's monthly report for May and June. Mr. Justin Grantham, good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning, Board.
Good morning.
This is different. I can actually see all your faces, man.
Well, we're sorry for that.
Yeah,
Me too.
you had a choice.
So the May monthly report for 2024, the total motor vehicle fees, sales tax, and recording fees collected for May are $1,427,468.37. Of that, Fremont County's portion for disbursement is $758,599.83, which is 53% of the total fees and is $51,632.87 less than May of last year. Year to date, our office is still up $150,242.42, and that's for May. For June of this year, the motor vehicle fees, sales tax, recording fees collected were $1,435,347.66. Of that, Fremont County's portion for disbursement is $782,346.60, which is 55% of the total fees and is $150,606.49 less than June of last year. Our year-to-date, our office is down $364.07.
Wow. Trying to flip there, huh?
Yes, it's been really slow. Well, I shouldn't say slow. It's been slow in the market. Lots of registrations coming in, but when you're not buying new vehicles, that sales tax being collected is not being distributed with us. So,
Wow. Any questions or comments for Mr. Grantham?
None for me.
I don't think so, Mr.
Move
Chair.
for
I
acceptance motion.
move to accept the county clerk's monthly report for, that was the May one, correct?
May and June.
I
And
did
June,
both.
okay. For both months, thank you.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the monthly reports for May and June from the county clerk. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
You bet.
I will have to leave this meeting as I have to conduct an audit on the June primary. So, happy endeavors to all of you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Move next to the county administrator, Mr. Tony Carochi.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Just a couple of quick things this morning. Fremont County has the following job opportunities posted. Department of Human Services, caseworker 1, 2, and 3. It's an ongoing position. It closes July the 14th. Department of Public Health, they have a prevention programs coordinator that closes July the 15th. Department of Transportation, they have an operator position that closes July the 18th. Clerk and recorder, motor vehicle, they have a lead clerk, and that position closes July the 22nd. And the CSU Extension Office at Pathfinder, that they have an office manager position, and it closes July the 17th. So if you're interested in applying or speaking to someone in our HR department about job opportunities, please go to our county website at fremontcountyco.gov, or you can call our HR department at 719-276-7409. And then just a quick update on the Grandview Bridge project. Post-holiday construction activities have begun again in earnest. For the next 2 weeks, the contractor will be excavating, forming, and placing reinforcement for the abutments and pier substructures. They are hoping to pour concrete before July 19th, depending on the progress. There should be no conflicts with concrete mixer trucks and traffic during the upcoming concrete pours for the abutments and the pier. The concrete deliveries should mainly enter the east side of the creek, avoiding the intersection of Steinmeier, Grandview, and the railroad on the west. So progress is going well with the bridge. So, and that's all I have this morning, sir.
Thank you. I think that's pretty interesting that there's only that few jobs available with the county, which means we're finally getting staffed in a lot of departments. So that's great. Okay, anyone else up here? Commissioner Bell,
Maybe.
poised.
Yes, always at the ready. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just would like to mention the 3 commissioners will be out of the office starting Thursday, and we will return next Tuesday. We're giving up our entire weekend to go to a National Association of Counties annual meeting. This year is going to be held in a very, very hot Tampa, Florida. Not sure how well we're going to be doing when we return, but we will return. We will have limited access to emails at that time, so I would like to point that out. I also would just like to say briefly, we attend steering committee meetings. We attend a meeting called the Rural Action Caucus. I'm actually a voting member on that board. NACO has a lot of policy setting during this time, and that's one of, I think, the main issues. That's one of the main reasons that we go, is we run resolutions. I'm running one in my steering committee this year, which is Agriculture and Rural Affairs. I believe Commissioner McFall is running 1 or 2 as well through his committee. These generally go up to the general session and the entire board, where they have typically been adopted, and they become policy for NACO, and they help to set NACO's agenda when we work with the legislature to bring good, focus on the good here, policy and legislation into being in Washington, D.C. We also typically hear from the president or the vice president. We aren't certain yet who we will be hearing from this year. One I'm really excited to listen to, though, we have a speech this year by Dominique Dawes. She is a 3-time Olympian. She is a gold medalist, and I think she's going to have some really great things to say. So we're excited about going. I know we're going to be bringing a lot to the table for NACO nationally, but maybe more important, we bring a lot more back to Fremont County when we return. So I just wanted to mention, Mr. Chair, we will be out of the office.
Thank you, Commissioner Bell. I just want to note that there are 176 pages of resolutions that we will be voting on while we're there. So that's everything from finance to law enforcement, to public lands, to agriculture, to, I mean, just you name it. And some of them are great resolutions, and some of them we will fight against. So we've got to stand up for all of them, but it's a lot. Yes. There's a lot there. Commissioner Grantham.
And just to pile on that, my fellow commissioners are pretty active in some of these individual committees and caucuses there, and I'm there for moral support. I'm still kind of new at all this, so still trying to figure things out with NACO. But looking forward to that, and like with CCI and our summer and fall conferences, it's an opportunity for camaraderie as well, with not just commissioners from around the state, but commissioners from around the country, and you get a chance. It's hard to place a value on the opportunity to visit with people that are in the same situation you are, from different perspectives in different states. Many things are the same and many things are different, and we get the chance to sometimes share those war stories on how you fix these problems. And it's usually a very beneficial time for us. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. I just want to mention a couple of things. One, the 100th year Fremont County Fair is July 24th through August 3rd. It's coming up really quickly. So anybody that's interested in being involved in that, there's still room for lots of volunteers out there. The Fair Board has done a great job of planning events kind of all week, so it's going to be a fun time. And need to come out and support the 4-H and FFA kids. It's going to be great. We talked about the Grandview Bridge a minute ago. The Texas Creek Bridge there that leads to BLM land was closed for, oh my gosh, about 4 months. The state inspector shut it down. Our Road and Bridge Department worked on it diligently, but they had to wait on engineers, and they had to wait on getting the part built, and finally got the part built, and it got here, and it was the wrong build, and they had to send it back and kind of expedite it. We finally got that bridge open again, but that affects a lot of people that like to go out and recreate on BLM north of Texas Creek. There's actually a business that functions out of there as well. So that bridge is back open and fully functional. And the design that our guys came up with, the bridge inspector liked it so well that he was going to pass it on to the state to use on other bridges that are having the same issues. So that's good to hear. And the last thing, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the dryness out there, the hot.
I was waiting.
Hot weather that we're supposed to have the rest of the week. Is a potential for fires out there. So be very careful if you're out and about, and don't start any fires, don't drag any chains. Keep your cigarettes in your cars if you do smoke, and be very careful out there. That fire that's burning south of us is still burning in some rough terrain, but that's an indication of how dry it is out there. It's very dry, so be careful. Anything else from anyone up here? Okay. Moving on, this is the part where citizens who wish to speak to the commissioners of matters not scheduled on the agenda. If there is anyone, now is the time. Nope. Okay, seeing no one. We have no business, we'll move right into new business. The first order of business is requesting the issuance of a malt venison spirituous fermented malt beverage special events permit for Loaves and Fishes Ministries of Fremont County for an event in Marshan Ranch Wedding and Event Center at 4807 State Highway, Colorado 9, State Highway 9, on August 31st from 3 to 11, 2024. And we have Dee Dee here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Push that button right in the front there, and it'll turn that on right there.
There you go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us about your event.
Sure. It's Saturday, August 31st. The event actually starts at 5:30 and then it'll end at 10 o'clock. It's Ruby Red Rock and Roll. This is Loaves and Fishes' 40th anniversary that we have been in our community helping families. And so Ruby is the 40th anniversary. So that's kind of how we came up with that name. As you know, it's at Marshan Ranch. We're going to have bar hoppers, bartending service. They will be the people that will actually be managing the bar there and bring the alcohol and checking IDs and all that kind of stuff. So Loaves and Fishes won't be involved in that piece of it. And they have been at the Marshan Ranch before and very familiar with that process. The music is going to be performed by Meeting-7, which I understand they bring their own gathering with them when they play, so I'm excited about that. And we have a live and silent auction, and Alan Woosley is going to be our auctioneer, and Chicago Bob's will be catering. So we're hopeful that this will be a fun event, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Wow, you just got some good barbecue. You got the state champion auctioneer and a really, really good band.
Yes, I know. What could
How
go
could you go
wrong?
wrong, right? That's pretty amazing. That's pretty good. Any questions for Dee Dee at this point?
Well, I typically have a question on serving alcohol and how they will be checking IDs and such, but you've pretty much already covered that. So I just was going to say the same thing. You have some heavy hitters coming up out there. I would like to just ask you, would you like to mention a way that people can purchase tickets for this event if they're interested?
Yes, we actually will have posters around town, and there'll be a QR code on the poster that folks can just go directly there. They also can just reach out directly to Loaves and Fishes, and we can help them with those tickets purchases.
All right, thank you.
So, thank you.
Okay, can I get a staff report, please?
All the questions on the application were answered correctly. The appropriate check was submitted. The 45-day requirement was met. The sheriff report came back recommending approval, as well as the health department. The county attorney didn't find any deficiencies in the application. So considering all those factors, the clerk's office recommends approval.
So far, you're batting 1,000, I think, so that's good. Any comments or questions for Sammy? If not, I would entertain a motion if you're ready.
Oh, I guess I would have one question. If we go to the map on there, is there a limitation as far as where the alcohol can be? I guess it goes down to the map, shows the parking lot and the existing fence, I think there. Is the alcohol going to be served and consumed in the patio area and the main building?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's all I was wanting to make sure of.
And not the parking lot, in other
Not
words.
the parking lot. Since it doesn't delineate that on the map itself, I wanted to make sure that we had that on record.
And a quick comment, if I may, Mr. Chair, before a motion. I would just like to say this event doesn't happen until August 31st. It's not very often, Dee Dee, that we have someone come before us so far in advance that you actually have all those ducks in a row, and you're here well in advance, because we very often are looking at events that are happening that Friday or Saturday. And so I just wanted to say thank you for that. The application was complete, it was well done, and I just wanted to tell you we don't see this very often, so thank you, good job.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And with that, Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve this request for the issuance of a malt, venison, spirituous, and fermented malt beverage special events permit for Loaves and Fishes Ministries of Fremont County for the event at Marchand Ranch Wedding and Event Center, 4807 Colorado Highway 9, Canyon City, August 31st, from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. this year.
I second, just with the note, I love the ruby red rock and roll. I think that's a great theme for a party.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to approve the special events permit for Loaves and Fishes Ministries. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye,
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good luck, Dee Dee. Thanks for coming in.
thank you so much.
Okay, moving on, item number 2 will be resolution number 26, series of 2024. It's authorizing ground ambulance services providers. Let me start that over. Ground ambulance service providers licensed by the state of Colorado to operate in Fremont County. I'm going to turn to our attorney, Mr. Eric Bellis, for a little bit of an explanation.
A little bit of historical background first. Up until the 1st of this month, Fremont County regulated ground ambulance services providers pursuant to a local system of regulation. We were very efficient, very effective in doing that. Our emergency services manager did all of the inspections of all of the equipment. Through that system, we were able to provide ambulance service to all areas of the county, and we were also able to avoid what happens from time to time in other places between ambulance service providers, and that is the race to the scene of the wreck whenever there was a call for ambulance services. As sometimes happens, in 2022, our legislature gave us a solution in search of a problem which did not exist in Fremont County in the form of Senate Bill 22-225, which transferred regulatory authority from the county to the state of Colorado. And from and after July 1st of this year, all inspections of equipment and all permits to operate in Colorado are issued by the state, not the county. As part of Senate Bill 22-225, it did authorize the county to impose sort of a process on top of the state process to authorize licensed ambulance service providers to operate within Fremont County, authorize the county to impose a bunch of regulations which were absolutely meaningless because the county has no real ability to enforce those regulations. And the county can opt out of that authorization and just allow any ambulance service licensed by the state to operate here. However, if Fremont County does that, then Fremont County will have no ability at all to provide local oversight to those ground ambulance service providers. So really the only thing that the county can do is authorize providers to operate in the county, and then in the event that there is a problem, act to suspend or revoke that authorization. It doesn't make any sense to establish a process which requires providers to pay additional fees if the county does not have the authority to impose any local regulations which differ in any way from the state regulations without the consent of the providers. But it does make sense to allow the county to oversee those providers and to take action to suspend or revoke authorization in the event that problems arise. So that's what this resolution allows us to do. It allows us, and by passing this resolution, the county will authorize specifically those licensed ambulance service providers to operate within Fremont County. In other words, if you have a license issued by the state, this resolution will authorize you to operate within the county, which also makes them subject to action to revoke that authorization in the event that problems arise.
Thank you for that great explanation. I tell you, this is a,
He got a twinkle in his eye while he was doing that.
yeah, he did. This is a volatile situation, or it's a, ambulance service has been a problem in a lot of rural Colorado. We do pretty well in Fremont County. We've got some good ambulance services and some good districts with ambulances, and we've done a very good job, as Mr. Bellis mentioned a minute ago, about keeping those licensed yearly and up to date, and the ambulances in working order. Now the state wants to take this over, and I can see this not working very well. They're going to go on I believe, a 2-year renewal rather than a single year. So we're going to have, I bet, ambulances out of compliance. Maybe not here, hopefully, but I know that's going to happen in places. So I just kind of see this not ending well. But I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Grantham to read this resolution, just because this is such an important issue.
So you're saying that the state generally fumbles the ball when they take over local control?
In not so many words, yes.
I thought that's what you were saying. A resolution authorizing ground ambulance service providers licensed by the state of Colorado to operate in Fremont County. Whereas ambulance services have historically been regulated by the county pursuant to 30-11-1071Q and CRS. And whereas county licensing and regulation was efficient and effective and afforded the citizens of Fremont County safe and reliable ambulance services. And whereas Senate Bill 22-225 and CRS 25-3.5-314 transferred regulatory authority to the state of Colorado and require ambulance service providers to obtain a license from the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment to operate on and after July 1, 2024. And whereas Senate Bill 22-225 and CRS 25-3.5-314 require ambulance service providers licensed by the state of Colorado to receive local authorization to operate within the county's jurisdiction, but eliminate the county's authority to enforce the efficient and effective regulations previously enacted by the county. And whereas this section of CRS authorizes the county to adopt a resolution, quote, governing the authorization to operate ambulance services within the county, unquote. And whereas the local authorization scheme established by the CRS reference render local control largely illusory by requiring consent from ambulance service providers for the county to impose any obligations which exceed the minimum standards adopted by the state. And whereas although the county may opt out of local authorization, it is the only means available to provide local oversight on behalf of the citizens of Fremont County. And Whereas the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners is loath to abdicate its responsibility to provide for the health and welfare of the citizens of Fremont County and entrust the same to unelected and unaccountable state-level bureaucrats. And whereas the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners remains committed to exercising its statutory obligation to provide for the health and welfare of our citizens to the extent permitted by the misguided legislation referenced herein, now therefore, it is hereby resolved by the Board of County Commissioners for Fremont County as follows. Any ambulance service provider licensed by the state of Colorado is hereby authorized to operate on a regular basis within the county's jurisdiction. It is the intent of the Board of County Commissioners for Fremont County that all ambulance service providers authorized to operate within the county's jurisdiction continue to provide services to the citizens of the county in conformity with the intent and spirit of the county regulations previously applicable. And C, ambulance service providers authorized to operate within the county by this resolution and special service districts within the county which provide ambulance services are encouraged to enter into memoranda of understanding regarding response and priority of response to calls for service within special districts. D, the county reserves the right to suspend or revoke the authorization of any ambulance service provider to operate within the county pursuant to the provisions of 25-3.5-314, Prin 5, Prin E. The end.
I think another comment would be that for some reason, this administration keeps piling on to CDPHE, Colorado Department of Public Health, and they're adding so many things to them, and some of them, I'm not even sure that they're equipped to even handle. This may be another one that they're not equipped to handle. And as the whereas that really like there, the load. But it is, it's ending the same to unelected and unaccountable state level bureaucrats. So what's going to happen with the level of service of ambulance that we have in rural Colorado? It's liable to fail, and that's my worry. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox.
I would just pile on and say I really like our county attorney's statement that this is a solution in search of a problem. Because things were working fine, once again, until the state legislature decides to dabble and dip their fingers into local issues and local area. And once again, this does take away local control. So when we sit up here, meeting after meeting, we talk about local control, these are the kind of things that we're talking about, because locally, we can protect our people. We can protect our people by ensuring that when an ambulance shows up for you, it is going to be equipped appropriately to handle the level of care that they will be giving. But turning this over to the state and understanding there may be one or two different folks who are going to be certifying and looking at these ambulances now, I simply don't see how well this is going to work. But we don't have a choice, so.
Okay, that I'd entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I will move to approve Resolution Number 26, Series of 2024, authorizing ground ambulance service providers licensed by the state of Colorado to operate in Fremont County.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 26, as stated by Commissioner Grantham. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 3, resolution number 27, series of 2024, setting hourly fees for research and retrieval of public documents. Once again, I'll turn to our county attorney, Mr. Eric Bellis.
This resolution deals with basically complying with requests for records under the Colorado Open Records Act. There are probably some of you listening who from time to time request copies of public records from the county. And those of you who do know that generally the county does not charge a fee for providing those records pursuant to that request. The county does not charge a fee for the first hour of time, and most of the time when we get requests from citizens, we're able to comply with that request within that first hour of time. However, from time to time, we do have requests that are made for legitimate purposes. They may be someone doing a research paper. That request may be made by someone sitting in another state who is writing their doctoral dissertation, and they would like a bunch of records from all over the country. And sometimes those requests are made by folks who are involved in litigation, and they're essentially using the county to do their research for them. It doesn't happen often, but once in a while we do receive a request that takes a substantial amount of time from our county employees to do the research, to compile the documents that are responsive to that request, to reproduce and provide those documents. The Colorado Open Records Act does allow the county to charge a fee for that time. That fee is adjusted every 5 years based essentially on the inflation that occurs during that time and it just happens to be the Denver Metropolitan Urban District, but the statute sets that maximum fee. It has recently been increased due to the inflation that occurred during the previous 5 years. The maximum fee now authorized to be collected is a little over $41, $41.67 per hour. And although this does not apply very often, when county employees have to spend a substantial amount of time, it costs the county much more than the maximum hourly fee that we can charge. This resolution would authorize the county to increase that fee that it charges from the $30 per hour presently charged to $40 per hour. And again, this fee is not going to be charged for the normal routine everyday requests that we get. It is only going to be charged for requests that require a substantial amount of time. We don't happen to have extra employees on staff for the purpose of just compiling core request responses. The employees that are tasked with that have other duties, and when they are spending 10, 20, 30 hours compiling a core request, they are not able to do the other duties that they have in their office that they would otherwise be doing. So that's the reason for this resolution, and it does authorize the county to charge an additional $10 per hour.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. So he covered the whereases pretty well. I'll ask Commissioner Bell to cover the resolved.
Thank you. Yes, he did kind of cover all of those whereas clauses, and I really don't feel the need to repeat those. So just the particular portions that we are adopting here in Fremont County. There shall be no fee imposed for the first hour of county employee time spent in responding to a request for public documents pursuant to the Colorado Open Records Act. The county shall charge a fee of $40 per hour for time spent beyond that first hour in responding to a request for public documents. The county may require payment of the estimated fee for retrieval of public documents in advance. If the time required for research and retrieval of public documents exceeds the estimate, an additional fee will be due. But if the time required for research and retrieval is less than the original estimate, the balance shall be refunded to the requester. The Fremont County, Colorado Open Records Act policy shall be updated to reflect the fee set by this resolution. And with that, Mr. Chair, I would just like to say one of the most important things I think that this fee does is it helps deter folks from frivolous requests to Fremont County. So just with that, Mr. Chair, I am happy to move to approve resolution number 27, series of 2024, setting hourly fee for research and retrieval of public documents.
And I'll second that, Mr. Chair. And just to add to that comment on the frivolous requests, even then, what we might consider frivolous, many of those still take place are able to be taken care of within the first hour. And so I know that's a big topic of conversation at the legislature right now. I'm not sure that they actually passed anything this last go around, but there were attempts in addressing the nature of that with people that we haven't really had that issue here, but in other counties and other governments, even with the state, there are those that are professional Cora requesters. And this is their whole shtick, and they do this in order to, I think, bog down the wheels of government, the ability for the county employees to be able, or city employees or whatever government employees, to be able to function in their job to serve the citizens as a whole. I think they're still going to be looking at that idea legislatively, but the idea, at least this last legislative session, wasn't ready for prime time, as we used to say. But this is, I agree with Commissioner Bell, this is at least a portion of a deterrent to make people sit back and think a little bit before they go requesting hours and hours and hours of time commitment from our employees in order to fulfill their request. So, again, I second it.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 27, series of 2024, setting the hourly fee for research and retrieval of public documents. Further discussion, I would just like to say that these two resolutions, and as well as the other materials on our meeting today and previous meetings as well, are available at fremontcountyco.gov on our website. If there's anything that you would like to look up and read them in entirety. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 4, appointment of a new member of the Fremont County Fair Board with a term ending December 31st, 2024. That sounds like a short term, and it is, because it's replacing somebody that resigned, and then this individual will have the option to re-up again for another year if they so desire.
Or another 3 years?
Or another term.
For another
Is
term.
what I meant to say.
Okay.
For 3 years. We did receive a letter of interest, which are also available on our website when there are positions open on all of our boards, and you can apply directly right there online. We did receive an application from Christopher Woods, who is interested in becoming a Fair Board member and contributing to the local events, and he grew up here, he's a local guy, and wants to jump in and help and do what he can to help with everything, and the fair is a great place to start with the 100th year coming up. Put that plug in there.
Mr. Chair, just to add on, we all know Chris pretty well, and glad that he has decided to join in and volunteer on this board. It's a good fit for him, and appreciate him volunteering for this. So I would move that we approve the appointment of Chris Wood to the Fremont County Fair Board with a term ending December 31, 2024.
I second, just with the note that, yes, we do know Chris, and I also think that he's going to be a great addition to this board. Very fair, very level. Yeah, I think he's going to do great.
If I didn't know him and then reading his deal here, I would have agreed with you on this regardless, because of his verbiage here that says celebrating our agriculture history.
Yes.
Heritage, agriculture heritage. I mean, that's what it's all about right there, so.
Yep.
It has been moved and seconded to approve Chris Woods to the Fair Board with a term ending December 31st, 2024. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We also have had an opening, and we may still have an opening in the Tourism
One
Council, which again, you can find at fremontcountyco.gov. Well, we have an opening in our Tourism Council with a term ending December 31st, 2026. We received a letter of interest from another great community person, Kathy Trogdon, and she is interested in joining the Tourism Council to bring her expertise and knowledge to it and help promote the area.
Mr. Chair, we do have a letter from Kathy. It's a very long, lengthy letter describing all of her experience in travel. She talks about how she wants to offer insight to the Tourism Council from a traveler's perspective, coupled with an experience planning group travel in association with family reunions, corporate events, and destination weddings. She talks about Fremont County has immense potential to attract groups to this area for business and leisure pursuits, and that's really what she would like to start looking at and working on. So again, we do all know Kathy. I think that she would be a great addition to this board. So, Mr. Chair, I move to appoint Kathy Trogdon to the Fremont County Tourism Council with a term that will end on December 31st of 2026.
And I will second that and just give my dittos on Kathy. This was a pleasant surprise, maybe not a surprise, but news when we got the letter that she was wanting to do this. We do still have one more opening on the Tourism Council, and you have to fit within that industry per statute. And so if you are interested, please refer to our website and or send us a letter in that regard, and then we will take that into consideration. But just another plug before we close up, because we always mention this on the radio, which I think we do have tomorrow. That all of our volunteer boards, obviously they're volunteers, and they're comprised of the community, members of the community, and it's a great way to get involved in so many different aspects of our Fremont County community that please check that out, see what might interest you, and see if there's any vacancies on those boards, and get involved and help out. And I bet that same goes for the city too, in both cities. And so volunteerism can start here with your local government and their volunteer boards.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded to approve new member Kathy Trogdon to the Fremont County Tourism Council with a term ending December 31st, 2026. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
With no further business before us, we are adjourned.